shopping mall the other day, and I could just imagine the next couple of weeks it's going to get really busy. And it's busy now, but in the next little while, everyone's going to be pushing and shoving and edgy. I'm like, that's what you can do your Christmas shopping now. Get it done. Or even if you can get it online, get it done. And so you won't have to be out there. And even people driving a little crazy. Like, this morning, and someone didn't even stop at a four-way stop. I was like, calm down,
Did they slide through it, or they just didn't stop, is the question. Because I went to stop the other day, and I was trying so hard to stop, and there was no way I was stopping, because I just literally slid, and I just glid right through. There was nobody around, thank God, but I literally it felt like it was in slow motion, just slid right through the four-way stop.
Well, I know. I mean, just gotta be careful out there. And I tell you, even in my area, because there's a lot of seniors in this area. Yeah. There's a lot of people speeding, and there's a lot of cops in that area that are watching out, because there's quite a number of, maybe I think 3 in the last 5 years that seniors got hit and went flying. That's why there's like a senior, crossroads over there, right? But some people are just, they're not taking it down, they're just rushing. So it's pretty scary, so watch out. Be mindful of some of these old people that are trying to cross the street.
Right? You can see somebody with their car, unloading or packing up their car with the cart, and you're walking into the store. It's nothing for you to just grab the cart and say, I'll take this in for you, so that the person doesn't have to walk back, to drop off the cart or leave it in the middle of the parking lot. You can do so many different little tiny things, and if there's nothing, then give a compliment. Give a compliment. Just look at somebody and, you are enough. I see you.
Right. That's why, there's a lot of reminders out there for a lot of people that slow down. Plus, also, this is a time of the year between you and me, Jen. Like, I don't know if many of you, our listeners, understand this, that this is the time they lay off a lot of people too.
Yep.
Before Christmas. So,
and I want to make a point to that, John. I want to address to any of those. Wow, isn't my English awesome tonight? I swear it's not the wine. To anybody out there who is listening, who has gotten laid off, I want to tell you, don't be discouraged. And don't take it as a negative, because I guarantee you that is the biggest blessing that you've ever had. I know it's basically shitty because it's around the holidays, but you know what? With every one door that closes, another opportunity opens. And that other opportunity wouldn't open if the door didn't close. So maybe you didn't have, maybe you within yourself wanted to leave and just never actually did it. Or there's a lot of different reasons that are there, and a lot of things that happen, but I guarantee that something better is always around the corner. And if you truly believe that, and within yourself that there's always something better that will come out of it, I guarantee after the new year, something's going to come for you. Something real, something better than whatever you had before is going to come.
Absolutely, because, I remember I've been laid off before, and when they called me in the office, it was before Christmas. But you know what? I was happy. It's all about your attitude and your mindset. And I was expecting it anyway, but I was happy. I was like, yeah, I wouldn't have to be dealing with this. And it's unfortunate that you have to go on EI, but being laid off. But I was able to accomplish a lot of things I wanted to accomplish within that period of 6 to 8 months.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely. Why take it as a negative? If let's say you stayed in that place. I've been in those kind of jobs where you're just absolutely miserable because the environment is so negative and it's so dark, and it's not a good place to be. It's not a good work environment. It's not healthy. You know what I mean? And because you're just so attached to it, they want you to feel that there's that ball and chain. You know what I mean? But when you break yourself away from that, there's a level of freedom that you give yourself that nobody else can't give you but you,
Absolutely. And you know what? Tonight we have a really amazing guest. She's going to be talking about that, about some of the transition and challenge that she's gone through in her life and her family. So
you know what? Let's give her a call. I'm going to put her on the phone.
Absolutely. So you got her number, her phone number,
right? Yes, I do.
So,
hold on one second. Awesome. Let's connect her on with us.
Awesome.
Let's get her going. Where am I here? Sorry, because I'm sideways. Don't ask me why. I'm like, okay, these numbers aren't looking right to me. That's maybe because they're sideways. Here we go. Let's get her on with this. Woohoo!
Hello.
Hey, Daxa.
Hi, how are you?
Good. Welcome to Empowering Your Future. You are live.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you for inviting me.
Absolutely.
How are you doing tonight, Daxa? How's your evening so far?
Amazing. Absolutely wonderful. Thank you. How about you guys?
Pretty good. We're really excited to have you on as a guest, and I'm sure like a lot of our listeners can learn a lot of things about some of the things you're going to be sharing with us. But Jen and I are looking forward to what you have to share, and thank you for such a short notice. And I'm pretty sure you're going to make a big impact to our listeners tonight. But welcome, and to Empowering Your Future, and tell us a little bit more about yourself.
Well, where to begin? I guess I'll start from the beginning. My background is actually accounting, and then many years ago, almost 10 years ago, I came down with fibromyalgia. I'm not sure if everybody knows what fibromyalgia is, but it's excruciating nerve pain, basically. And I was also diagnosed with depression, and with the pain and everything, it was a very difficult time in my life where I actually wanted to commit suicide. It was so painful. But as time went by, I realized that this pain really stemmed from all the stress I was holding on into my life.
Yes.
And that's where the fibromyalgia came from. But while I was going through it, my name is in every single hospital, I think, where I was knocking on the doors, please help me, what is wrong with me? And it was one day when I actually surrendered.
Okay.
And let go of the control. And that's when things started to change. So, life was tough. I was having cortisone injections put into my head. I was on oxycodone, which I was addicted to because of the pain, 280 milligrams of antidepressants. So it was really, really a dark time in my life, to the point where I wanted to commit suicide.
Wow.
Daxa, if you don't mind me asking, you made, and it's just for our listeners to have a better understanding, at that point where you made that choice to let go, can you kind of give us a little bit more detail about that?
Absolutely. The time when I made the choice to let go was when I hit the worst point in my life, when I really hit rock bottom. I remember being in my bedroom on my knees and just saying to God, the universe, the source, saying, I cannot do this anymore. You do what you want to. You take over. And that's when I just had this, and at that point, just before then, I wanted to commit suicide, and I was actually planning how to do this. And that's when things started turning around, and suddenly, like within a day or two, somebody asked me to go for a Reiki session, and I'd never even heard of Reiki. My background is accounting. I was working in the corporate world.
Right.
So totally this was not something I had planned. It just fell into my lap through my own pain and my journey.
Wow.
So with that being said, that's where my Reiki started, and I started having Reiki sessions. Didn't really even understand it.
Right. Can you just tell us a little bit about Reiki for our listeners who's not familiar with Reiki or Reiki session? Just a brief description of some of the process of treatment or sessions that you go through.
Absolutely. So when I started my Reiki session, I had no idea what it was. So basically you lie on the table, you're fully clothed, and the practitioner barely touches you, and everything is energy. We are all made of energy. So they work in your energy field, and they're clearing, but it's going to the root of the cause. So even though I thought my problem was physical, the root of the cause was emotional. It was holding on to years and years of pain and anxiety, and from childhood to, moving to Canada, and all the problems that I had, which is all energy. It's not physical. So you're removing the deep core issues. You're healing mind, body, and soul. And as a practitioner is laying their hands in your aura and cleaning your energy field, you're feeling so much more relaxed and calmer from a deeper level. It's like an onion being peeled. We're going right down to the core and healing you. And to heal, you have to heal mind, body, and soul. You can't just heal physically.
Yes.
All three areas have to be healed.
Absolutely. And so Reiki really helped you out in your some of your challenges times and your turning point then. So
absolutely. That's where my journey started. And then I started doing research and became more mindful and realized that, I'm in control of my own life. I'm in control of my own thoughts, and I need to now start taking that control. So I actually had called my family in England and said, you cannot ask me how I'm doing. I don't want any energy focused on my illness anymore. You're going to call me, just ask me how the weather is. But even my own husband, he wasn't allowed to ask me. And I started writing letters to God and almost tricking my subconscious mind. I'm healthy, I'm strong, and really taking control of my thoughts. And day in, day out, I'd listen to Deepak Chopra, I'd listen to Wayne Dyer and all the podcasts, just surrounded with positivity.
That's great, because, there's a lot of, growing up and other people, it takes some time to reprogram. And, how did it change you instantaneously? Was there a period of time that, it wasn't...
There was a period of time because there was a lot of work to do. And there were three things I would say. It was the energy work, it was being mindful, and being spiritual. I started leaning more and more on the universe, having more faith. And that was huge because I wasn't like that before. And the more I focused on these three things, I was seeing how my life was changing. And it was almost like, all I can say is I feel like I was reborn.
Okay.
Reborn as the person I want to be.
Absolutely.
Wow. And just to ask you something, Daxa, for many individuals going through that transition that has a belief system in their faith, did your family members thought differently of you, that you becoming a bit more open? What kind of support or challenges that you went through when you're transitioning, right?
So I had a lot of challenges because as you take this journey, you change and there's no going back. So friends, family, everything changes. You don't do it deliberately, but it's just you consciously and subconsciously go down another path, and there's no turning back because it's what your soul is craving for. And when you connect to that, you're just on this different road.
Yes, absolutely. And you found your calling, and you found your awakening, your calling to at that point. And and how was that? How was that when you had a realization?
I believe I should have had this realization many years ago, because many years ago I actually crossed over to the other side where I collapsed. I was pregnant at the time. I collapsed. I crossed over to the other side and I saw this beautiful light where I didn't want to come back. And all I remember is my husband calling my name, saying, "You've got to come back. Think of our son." My son was 2 at the time. And it's such a beautiful place on the other side. It was a near-death experience that I was just floating. My soul was just floating to this light. There was so much love that even a human being couldn't give you that love. But fortunately, I'm happy to say I did come back. My time wasn't at that time, but I think at that time I should have had the awakening, and I should have been doing what I'm doing now.
Yes.
But because I didn't listen, I truly believe that they had to clunk me around the head last time.
I mean, and it's a great feeling once you found something that's truly yourself, because there's quite a number of people